Hello YNABers, my name is Jesse Meekum from YNAB. It stands for You Need a Budget. You do. This is another Whiteboard Wednesday, and because it's a hot summer day, I'm not wearing any shoes. We are going to talk today about how to get through school debt-free. The most important piece of this. And I know, I actually want everyone to comment. I want you to comment specifically how you did it. If you did it, if you got through school debt-free, how did you do it? Leave comments, because we need to kind of crowdsource this. I know this is not an exhaustive list of strategies or principles to help you get through it. I did it, and I'm not the only one. And so I want to have a good conversation about it so people will come along, read these comments, and think they can do it too, because they can. And honestly, if you can get through school debt-free, you are light years ahead of your peers. Light years. Well, 10 years, 12 years. You're way far ahead. So, let's talk about that really quick. How to get through school debt-free. Number one, you have to decide that debt is not an option. Otherwise, these don't look very fun. They don't look fun at all. They look hard, and they don't look like something you want to do. So you decide debt is not an option for school, and then you start making all of your decisions. If you stick yourself in the box, that framework of debt not being an option, and you only make decisions within that box, you will come up with all sorts of creative ways, all sorts of strategies. Your mind will be opened, inspiration will be sent down from the heavens, and you will know how to get through school debt-free, okay? Now, I want to say one thing. This doesn't have to be an all or nothing, but if you treat it that way, I think you'll see better results. If you you have a final semester, you have to borrow the money, you did awesome, okay? It's not binary. We're talking about making financial progress, and financial progress is not binary. It's gradual. There's lots of gray. But if you just tell yourself now, this is not an option. Debt is not an option. What else can I do? What options are available to me when debt isn't? You start to see a whole bunch of other things open up. So first, you decide. Second, you budget. We're working on the modeling around offering the new YNAB to college students. Right now we're offering YNAB 4, the old version. Still great, still fantastic, still delivers killer results. So it's still awesome, but we want to get them the new one if we can. But it's expensive for us. It's much more expensive than the other version. And so we're having to model that to make sure we don't overpromise and then end up hurting YNAB as a whole. So we're working on that one. Budget right now, you can use YNAB 4. And hopefully soon you'll be able to use the new YNAB if we can get the economics to work for us. And we're working on that. Number two, go a bit slower. Consider just going a little bit slower in school. Just a little slower. I don't mean slow because you're being lazy. I mean slow because you're being strategic. You may be working a little more, taking a class, maybe one fewer class, being able to squeeze out more work. You're really only going slower so you can work. That's the trick. You're not going slower so you can goof around. Then by that, I don't mean anything about that. I mean, you go slower so you can work. Let's skip over scholarships for a second and go to work. You don't get paid a ton when you're in college. Sometimes you get lucky. I did get lucky. I landed an awesome job in my accounting field. It was an internship, and it was phenomenal. It was high paying for us at the time, and made it just was phenomenal. It was in internal audit. It wasn't fun work by any stretch at all, but it paid well, and so I just did it. But if you can't find something in your field, which is very likely that you can't find something in your field, you do sales, which those skills will pay forever, or you do manual labor. Those skills probably won't pay forever, but they can. Frame houses, dig ditches, lay sprinklers, sell door to door, going back to sales. Do things that pay well. They pay well because they're horrible. I shouldn't say horrible. They're hard, not horrible. Hard stuff isn't always horrible, and horrible things aren't always hard. But in this case, they pay well because they're hard, back-breaking type stuff. So seek out those hard options. Seek out the option where you have to get up at 3 in the morning to go do your job. Then you're talking about something that pays well. Do concrete, lay curbing, work where it's just sweaty and nasty. That pays because it's hard. So look there. I'm really gunning to have my kids do hard labor because that pays dividends on down the road, and it pays really well. So when you're working, don't settle for like a retail job where you're working for minimum wage. Work on something where your inputs are getting a lot more output. And so these are just two off the top of my head. If you have other ideas in the comments, please share. Good college options for work. Those two just were from the hip. There are loads and loads of scholarships. It takes a lot of time to do these, but that pays off. What you want to do is focus on just knocking out every single possible scholarship you can. Apply to everything. This is the shotgun approach. You scattershot this thing and you nail it. You don't do crappy work and do crappy applications and expect results. You do good work, but you do it a lot. It takes tons and tons and tons of time. It's like another part-time or maybe full-time job. So get in line for these scholarships. The money's out there waiting for people to claim it, waiting for people to qualify for it, and it's there that'll help you pay your tuition. So jump on this. I didn't mention the other things, but try a junior college, get an associate's degree, have that transfer to a bigger university if that's your goal. Going to one of those junior colleges and wrapping up that associate's degree, it transfers right over to the more expensive college or university, and you can just go there. There are all sorts of strategies and options to get through school without any debt. So decide now, how am I going to get through school debt-free? Decide now that you'll get through it. And then watch as your creativity is unlocked and see how all of these other options present themselves to you. Be prepared to work hard. Be prepared to sprint for 4 or 5 years. Be prepared to really buckle down. This isn't a time to really play. It's a time to be an adult and really get to work. And as you do that, it will pay off for you tremendously down the road. Tremendously. I highly recommend it. Again, at the end of the day, to go back to our roots, if you're budgeting, if you're really deciding what you want your money to do, the reason that we don't like debt isn't because debt in and of itself is bad. It's because most of the time debt keeps us from being able to have our money do the things we really want it to do. And I do not want you to sit there when you're 35, 10 years after you've graduated or whatever, and still be paying for your 25-year-old self's lifestyle, your 25-year-old self's choices. I don't like the fact that you have really young people with no financial understanding making huge financial decisions. I feel like it's a scam. So I don't want you to be paying for that, being scammed when you're 18, 19, and then at 35 you're still paying for those mistakes. That robs you from being able to have your money now, do the priorities that are important to you now. You don't want to be paying for your prior self's priorities. And heck, a lot of times you don't even know what they were. You're just trying to figure things out. So, how to get through school debt-free? A few options. You decide. Always be budgeting. Always be budgeting. Hashtag always be budgeting. Go a bit slower through school if it means you can work more. Do hard work that pays well. Hard work that pays well. Look for scholarships. Try a junior college. Anything you can do. I highly recommend it. It means that the first 10 years after you graduate, all that money will be working for you to get you ahead financially and help you reach your goals. Kind of a long Whiteboard Wednesday today. I'm getting a little bit of a streak with that. But this is an important topic to me, and I've seen far too many people, young people, just get saddled with debt. I think we're doing them a huge disservice telling them that that's the only way. It's not the only way. There's one guy, and I think there will be a lot of people in the comments that will tell you that it is not the only way. I will see you guys next week.